Okay, off to run a few errands today, pick up some supplies. We'll take the vehicle that's functional. Well, yesterday it was warm and then it turned rainy, and today all the clouds and rain have moved out, but it's got back cool again. It's back down to about 50 or 52 degrees. First stop is to get some gas. Let's see. 155 for regular, 165 for plus, and 205 for super. Okay. Handle it. Okay. Next stops is going to be at the John Deere store to get some paint, if I can find a place. Never been out to this one. I know where it's supposed to be, roughly. No, it's New Holland. I see it. I go in here to get the Blitz black paint. That's the best semi-gloss black paint I've ever used. So I'm in need for some. So I'm gonna go get some. Colonel Sanders, my bad. It's not Colonel Sanders. That's somebody pretending to be Colonel Sanders. Colonel Sanders, the real Colonel Sanders, is probably rolling over in his grave to hear that.
I got this nice feel hot chicken going. Come on down.
Okay, let's go in. Okay, got that done. Let's cruise on. Well, I'm trying to find this paint store that's here in Huntsville. It's called Moore's Paints, Auto Paints. And the address for them is incorrect. So I went through this before and I couldn't remember where the street was that they've actually moved to. I've been driving around for a few minutes. So it's not worth it to me to keep on looking, and I'm not going to bother calling them because last time I was there, in fact, their machine that puts the paint in aerosol cans for you was broken. So it's very likely that if I do find a place, or I'll drive over there wherever it's at, then I'll get there and they'll tell me the same nonsense as then, that our machine's broken, and whoever the owner of Moore's Paints, which I know they have more than one facility, whoever the owner is doesn't bother to send us a new machine or have this one repaired. So, well, I'm going. So, So I'm just gonna say the heck with it. We can go on to O'Reilly's Auto Parts and get them to mix me a can of paint up. And the independent stores wonder why they get put out of business. There you go. That's why. It's a Volkswagen with a hood up. Bless their hearts. Guy under the dash of his car. Alright. There we go. Yeah, boy. I'm getting OD on this diesel exhaust right here. Turn that off. Normally I actually like the smell of diesel exhaust. Whew. So I got done with my paint purchase there at O'Reilly's. So I'm gonna head over. I guess the last thing I'm gonna do before I go home is I'm gonna head over to Longhorn and have some lunch. You know, Longhorn's kind of a, you know, it can be expensive to eat there. They got really good food, but it's expensive to eat there. But I get like a couple side dishes, so for lunch it's only like $10, something like that. Because you know I don't have to pay for a wife to maintain, so that gives me a little bit extra money to spend on myself. So I can be okay with eating out in places like that for lunch whenever. So I was gonna say I'd call it Longhorns, because you know down here in the South, one thing people do, whether they realize that they're doing it or not, they do it, is, man, these roads are terrible. Is what they do is they put an S on the end of things. Different words, like Walmart gets turned into Walmarts. We're gonna go to Walmart's. And we eat at the Crystal Hamburger place. That's Crystals. We're all going to Crystals to eat. Driver's license. That's a real good one. Driver's license gets turned in from being driver's license. I have to get out my driver's license. Do you have your licenses with you? Yeah. And then they'll turn around and they'll actually say, they'll call them. Do you have them? Did you bring your licenses with you? You know, and here we go on this is, what them? There is no them. You have, the state of Alabama issues every individual a single driver's license, a single card. There is no them. Licenses. You got your licenses with you? You got them with you? Where in the hell did people ever come up with that down here? You know, the Outback Steakhouse, they could get turned into Outbacks. You want Outbacks? I don't know how many of you ever heard of Pall Mall cigarettes. P-A-L-L. Then the second word is M-A-L-L. Pall Mall. And for whatever reason, people down here in the South don't call them Pall Mall. They call them Pale Mail cigarettes. I can't tell you, working in a convenience store in a service position, visiting that store for some reason, I can't tell you how many times I've heard somebody come in and say, yeah, give me a pack of them Pale Mail cigarettes. I need the menthol Pale Mail menthols. What? You know, we send our kids to school down here to try to learn the English language, and then they go back home and their parents have destroyed it so bad that it's useless even sending them to school. You know, you work 5 hours a week with them in school to try to get them to not use such poor grammar, and then they go back home and they're listening to Granny and Grandpa and Mama and Daddy while they talk, and it all goes out the window. All goes out the window. Big thing you hear down here, you hear people say they're going to mash on something. M-A-S-H. You mash on something. Mash on the gas. Mash the gas. Mash the brakes. Mash that button over there. You got a pimple? Mash it. Mash, mash, mash. Everything gets mashed. And you know, people on YouTube, they periodically are crude to me, give me some kind of criticism based on my accent. I can't help it. I was born here. It's the way I've learned to talk, you know. Whenever I criticize a car or something for being a piece of shit, people tend to, if they don't like what I've said, they tend to come back and pick out some criticism about me personally. Did I get me back, I guess, retribution or something, but I don't care. What I've said stands on its own merits. It's the truth. If a vehicle's a piece of shit, it's a piece of shit. As far as I'm concerned, there's nothing more to be said about it. What's a beautiful day, though. I wish it wasn't quite so cool. I think it's going to, guess what? It's going to warm up tomorrow, but you know what it's going to do? If it rains, it's going to warm up. If it warms up, it's going to rain. Those two go hand in hand, so the forecast is for some rain tomorrow. So. Alright, well, I've rambled and rambled and rambled and rambled. This is going to be a long-ass video, so I guess I'm going to drive onward and have my lunch, and I think when I get home, I'm going to go ahead and it may be too cool today to paint the bumper cover on that Volvo, but I think I'm going to go ahead and, at the very least, I'm going to paint that hitch I bought. That's an actual genuine Volvo hitch because it's got the weird size receiver in it. Now there again, that's what I'm saying about there are things about different European cars I like BMW, Mercedes, and Volvo that I like, but there are some things about those cars that are just stupid. The idea is stupid. When you send a car in a hitch to America where everybody uses the same standardized receiver, yet you can't do that. You put on some weird size receiver that nobody here has. You have to buy an insert for it. No, we're not going to build our hitch just to have that standard receiver size. We're going to build it this size, maybe a European standard. I don't know that. I'm too much of a neophyte as far as European bumper hitches go to know that, but maybe, you know, and you can't find an insert for it anywhere, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm not even in the mood to keep that car, so anyway, I'm going to paint that hitch and put it on, and I'm going to probably start on a few other things. I bought some door locks for it, which that's another video. I've almost got more video subject matter than I have time to post them these days. Like Robert DIY knows, when you got a Volvo or some other European car like that, you got plenty of subject matter to videotape. It never ends. So, okay guys, I quit boring you. Thank you for coming along for the ride. We'll see you down the road.